Oh, macrocosmos. Oh, dimensional fissure. Ugh. Ugh. What time is it? December 5th! I'm supposed to write the Genesys list for tomorrow! Okay, wait, I can do this. 25 points to Droll and Lockbird, and, we'll free Yagamaru. Yeah, that's good enough. Alright, back to bed. Oh, Maxie. Oh, jank enthusiasts, I'm MBT, and this is 10-minute testing. As the end of the year fast approaches, I think now is the perfect opportunity to make a bunch of videos that the algorithm hates. That way we can start 2026 off on a clean slate. Get ready for a lot of top 10s. Until then, let's take another look at Genesys format, this time with updated point totals. Presenting DRAGONMAID, Cool Toon, and Ninja. But first, this video is sponsored by Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck. Despite what some Yu-Gi-Tubers who shall not be named would have you believe, the TCG is alive and well. And if you're looking to start your journey into paper, there's no better place to begin than Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck. With up-to-the-minute reporting on every major tournament worldwide, searchable and interactable pie charts and deck lists, and all the bells and whistles you've come to expect from one of the best draft and collection management sites on the net, Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck is the place to be. Check it out today at www.ygoprodeck.com. Now back to the video. First, let's deal with DRAGONMAID. DRAGONMAID is a deck that's only recently become playable in Genesys, courtesy of the point switch. Prior to the most recent adjustment, there were a few decks Konami assured us were good based on internal testing, even though they weren't panning out in paper. Well, it's now been long enough, and Konami has been forced to admit that whatever playtester was pummeling them, it was a genuine skill issue. This deck looks a lot different than in the TCG, where it's often just Dragon Link Light. Here, it's a repeatable and, dare I say, mid-range deck built around Lady Loops. So with that, let's get into the card by card. We've got 3 Chamber, 3 Kitchen, 3 Parlor, 2 Nurse, 2 Stern, 1 Lorepar, 1 Tinkek, 1 Nudarl, and 1 Ernest. We're playing 3 copies of Dark End Evaporation Dragon, the best DRAGONMAID that never was, 3 Hospitality, and 3 of Dragon's Light and Darkness. You might not be familiar with this card. You can activate each effect of this card once per turn. You can shuffle a level 8 from your hand into the deck to add a level 8 dragon monster with a different attribute to your hand. You can target a dragon you control. It gains attack equal to its level times 200, or when a card effect that is activated targets a dragon monster you control, you can negate that effect. That's right, it's sort of a search spell, but it's also sort of called by the grave. Finally, we are on 2 Changeover and 2 Tidying. We've got 1 downtime in here just because the deck plays so much slower than it does in the TCG, and our free hand traps followed by our non-free ones. 3 Ghost Ogre, we've split them so that they don't interrupt the effect failures, and a Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion. In the extra, we've got 2 Xiao, 3 House, a Philoregis, a Borreload Furious Dragon, Starving Venom, double Chaos Star Source Dragon, double Ladies DRAGONMAID, a Garura, a Maylong, and a Marilogic Aggregator for an Ultimate Slayer package out of the board. So with that, let's check out a game. Our match is up against Artmage. It's kind of cool that a metagame is starting to develop in Genesys, and that Artmage is one of the pillars of it. We are going first, and our hand looks incredible. We're going to begin with a copy of Chamber and eat an effect veiler from our opponent. No big deal, because we can go for our Evaporation Dragon, banish this Star Source, and then activate its effect to perform a fusion summon. We will go Borreload Furious, then activate Hospitality to bring back the Chamber and send a copy of Stern. We'll banish those for a Ladies DRAGONMAID into a Veiler, into a Dragon's Light and Darkness. See, it's kind of just called by. By resolving the effect of our Ladies, we'll go ahead and get a copy of Kitchen DRAGONMAID. We'll pitch that second copy of Stern, then we can activate the Changeover in order to make a Xiao. We'll pass back to our opponent, and in standby, we'll activate the effect of the Xiao in order to summon back the Ladies DRAGONMAID, whose effect triggers again, getting us a Chamber DRAGONMAID, whose effect we can use to grab a Hospitality for next turn. Next, we're going to go for Ladies DRAGONMAID to shuffle 2 back for Ophelia Regis and wish our opponent the best. They're going to begin with a copy of Alteration and then start firing off Acropolis. We will go for Ophelia Regis. They will go for the Blackout Laughs. We will Xiao, and after that, we'll be able to summon a copy of House DRAGONMAID to our side of the field. After that, they're going to normal summon a copy of Medius the Pure and get themselves a copy of Power Patron. Well, that's not going to be too strong into a Borreload Furious Dragon eating the Medius. They'll pass turn here and should just be a hop, skip, and a jump to lethal. We'll go for Ladies DRAGONMAID here in order to cycle into a Xiao, and then activate the effect of the House DRAGONMAID here to summon a copy of Stern. As we go to main phase, we can change over to put the Stern back in our hand, then use House DRAGONMAID's effect to blow up our opponent's last remaining card. They're going to grab fodder for next turn, but there won't be a next turn when I get in for 35, 3k, and you know what? Let's just go ahead and double that. Second, let's kick it with Cool Toon. Unfortunately, this one is really strong. In an attempt to avoid a repeat of Radiant Typhoon, Konami has released this archetype pre-hit, but honestly, I don't think it's enough. This deck is virtually unchanged from its TCG version. With so few points in the main deck monsters, it can easily splurge on hand traps. Its one weakness is that there just aren't that many names, but that's less of a problem when you don't have to contend with cards like Ash Blossom. So with that, let's get into the card by card. First up, 1 copy of Clip. Okay, I know this is going to rustle some jimmies, but despite the fact that this is turn 0 interaction, it's kind of a pipe dream to be able to get into something relevant. It's a similar situation to Super Quantum Black Layer, where you have to open it plus a relevant cool tune in order to do anything interesting. Still valuable to have in your lineup, but not necessarily so good that you go all the way in on this pointed card. We've got 3 Q, 3 Mix, 3 Rico, and 1 Red Nova. Yes, regrettably, which is non-negotiable. 3 JJ Cool Tune, 3 Synchro, and 3 Synchro Overtake, alongside the Trap Card Cool Tune playlist, which does make the cut, I think, in Genesys. For non-engine, we are on 3 Delta and 1 Driver, triple Fuwalos, triple Veiler, triple Crow, double Skullmeister, double Ghost Ogre, and double Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion. In the extra, we've got Ass Dragon, 3 Loudness War, 3 Remix, 3 RS, 3 Trackmaker, a Silvera, and a Cheng Ying. So with that, let's check out a game. Our second match is going to also include DRAGONMAID. Unfortunately, we are going to be playing against it. Our opponent's playing a little bit of a different build than we were playing, splashing for main deck copies of Feimina and some of the Draco Tales. This is a very popular build of the deck, and as a result, we are going to really be in for it. They are going first. They're going to begin with a copy of Hospitality. That's going to summon out that Stern and bin a copy of Chamber into a Lady's DRAGONMAID. Now, they have not drawn the Called by the Grave, so we will negate that. They'll normal summon a Kitchen, activate the effect of the Kitchen to cycle a Chamber, and then go ahead and pass turn. All right, maybe we can make this work. In standby, they're going to trigger the effect of the Lady in order to make a copy of Xiao. Then they'll trigger the effect of the Xiao in order to bring back the Chamber. We have to contest it with our DD Crow, and then in main phase, they will negate the effect of our Q with that Xiao. That will get them a house, my guy to the yard, and then we are all in on this cool tune. We'll activate the effect, we'll normal summon a copy of Effect Veiler and cycle it for a copy of Mix, then we'll trigger the effect of the Mix in order to maybe get back into the game via Rico. We'll go into an RS, trigger the effect of the Mix in order to get rid of the House DRAGONMAID, go to the battle phase and get over the Lady's DRAGONMAID, and then pass back to our opponent. They'll draw for turn, and it's a Parlor. That's something. They'll go Parlor effect, we will RS to negate, but unfortunately we're still in a really rough position here. We'll draw for turn, that's a really bad one. We'll go to battle phase, but unfortunately that gives them an opportunity to go Parlor into Lady effect, which will bring a Chamber from deck, trigger the effect of the Chamber, and ensure they'll have material next turn. We get to walk over the Lady's DRAGONMAID, and we'll have to cool tune our way our Synchro monster to get a Mix back to our side of the field. Mix here can go ahead and grab a Q. We will go for the normal on the Q, trigger the effect of the Q in order to bring back the RS, then normal summon the Red Nova to make a Trackmaker. We'll trigger the effect of the Q and the Red Nova and the Trackmaker to get Rico, and also we can, I guess, Fate Seal them a little bit. What the heck? Is that a whole bunch of them? We'll go ahead and grab a Synchro and then grab a Clip as well. We'll end on the Remix, triggering the Mix in order to pop our opponent's Chamber and pass back. They'll draw for turn, another Parlor. They'll go Changeover. We probably have to negate that with the RS afterwards. They're just going to go ahead and trigger the Changeover effect in Graveyard, bounce it back, and fire it again. We'll go for Remix here. They'll chain DD Crow. How miserable. We will cycle back our copy of Rico and go into a Remix once again. They'll go Xiao, trigger the effect of the Urgula. We will Mix, targeting their Xiao. They'll Xiao. We will Synchro in order to go ahead and grab a Rico and make a Loudness War. They'll go into House DRAGONMAID here and set a copy of Rahu Draco Tail, popping our field spell. We get to trigger about 15 graveyard effects here. We'll banish a card from the extra and bounce that. As they go for Rahu into a Gulamel. From here, they can trigger the effect of the Pan. We'll go for the Loudness War in order to wipe that Gulamel, and they will set a copy of Flame. Finally, let's noodle over Ninja. Ninja was a perplexing deck out of the gate. It was saddled with points that just didn't make any sense at all. Whatever the DRAGONMAID Duelist was doing in playtesting, the Ninja one trick was doing a million times worse. They had Yagamaru on points. Like DRAGONMAID, it's since been freed, but unlike DRAGONMAID, there's no points whatsoever to speak of. Because of this, Ninja is well positioned as one of the only decks in the format that can play Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Joe Biden, wake up. For this deck, we are on 3 copies of Hanzo, 3 copies of Tobari the Sky Ninja, 3 Mitsu, 2 Kagero, and 1 apiece of Geo, Yellow Ninja, Baku, and Green Ninja. For the spells, we're on 3 copies of Notebook of Mystery, 1 copy of Iron Digger, and 1 Hidden Village. For traps, we are on 3 copies of Dancing Leaves, still just an unbelievable card, and 2 Duplication. We have a ton of room for non-engine here, including 45 points worth of Ash Blossom, Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill, Mulcharmy Fuwalos, DD Crow, and Book of Eclipse. In the extra, we've got Ultimate Great Insect, triple Maizen, triple Yagamaru, and a bunch of 4s that I don't think it's super likely we're going to make. Vespinato, Blade Armor, Tornado Dragon, Exciton Knight, Emerald, Roach, Gagaga Cowboy, and Ninja, Shadow, Mosquito. So with that, let's check out a game. Unfortunately, our match is up against one of my favorite decks in the format, Fire King. Their hand looks kind of bad, but so does ours. We're just going to go ahead and reset before passing it back to our opponent. They're going to begin with a copy of Fire King Island. They'll follow it up with a 7th Ascension for a Tachyon, then activate the Tachyon, but with the Ulcanix already in hand, they don't have too much to get here, just adding the Bayrong. Afterwards, they're going to go ahead and normal summon an Ulcanix, trigger the effect in order to pop the Bayrong, and trigger the Ponix effect, which they added. They'll go for the Ponix effect. This is probably a good enough reason to Moonlit Chill in order to negate its effect, then go Fire King Island. We will go for the Notebook of Mystery, and they will reveal a Bell. No, Bell can be activated against this. This means they get to not only Ulcanix, but also this Garunix. We can still do something about it, courtesy of Joe Biden. They will summon out the Garunix, trigger the effect of the Garunix, and we will go ahead and set the entire board, courtesy of both Geo and Green Ninja. They will be able to destroy a copy of Kieran. Kieran will trigger. They'll bring back the Ulcanix, and they can pop the Dancing Leaves and wipe the board, but they're only getting in for 800, so maybe we can make this work. We'll draw for turn, and that's honestly one of the better draws remaining in the deck. Let's go ahead and set the Dancing Leaves and pass back to our opponent. They will draw for turn. Of course, triggering this copy of Bayrong in the standby. We'll go Dancing Leaves to trigger this effect of High Garunix into a Baku the Beast Ninja. They will pop, and then we'll trigger the effect of the Baku. Unfortunately, DD Crow is going to make quick work of our setup. They'll go Arvada next into Avatar Kieran, triggering the effect of the Garunix in graveyard, and this is probably all she wrote. They can send the third Kieran here, summoning back a monster and popping our last remaining card. They'll go Battle Phase, and not even really worth activating the Fuelos, to be honest. So we're back with the decks, and I'd like to talk generally about their place in the metagame. We're seeing a specific philosophy emerge when it comes to Genesys lists. By and large, it pays to be the deck with 0 points associated with your archetype. It is non-negotiable to be able to spend a significant amount of your points on hand traps and board breakers, and most of the decks we looked at today do just that. I am positive that Cool Toon will be a part of the meta. I'm optimistic about DRAGONMAID, but I wouldn't get your hopes up about Ninja. Sorry to the playtester. Thanks so much for watching. These videos are made possible by, and sometimes suggested by, my patrons, some of whom have paid a hefty sum in order to be mentioned at the end of this video. Those individuals are Absolutely Fran, Elena Tincher, Allison Elliott, Ally, APK Pearly Tier 0, Brett Henry, Cap, Cool Name, Damon O'Neill, Dark Rebel XYZ, DJ Elefante, El Gravo, El Secut, Emiliano Deverio, NB Adams, Fabrizio Petroli, Franco Romero, Galactic Joey, Hergalicious, JP, Night Mary, Cole Offline, Corey Mizu, Legal Rights, Lucas Rosas, Luis Hernandez, Master Key 090, Matthew M. Derezo, MBT Hablando en Español, MBT Plema Dolce, Mike Carlotti, N54 Lionheart, Nancho, Pombo, Project Mercury, Pyramid Artisan Field Cloths, TCG Accessories, Rancer My Thing, Rohan Doge, Rose Lapine, Serpentax, Shifter.mp8, Sly Ninja 43, Troy Says By Erasure is Gay, Who's Nick, Yuki Kazami, and Zircon Sun. Couldn't have done it without you.